What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This week is going to be our weekly Forex analysis of swing trading. This is going to be for July 14th up until July 19th. So I have 5 pairs I want to talk about, and let's just kind of get into the charts and not waste any time. So let's get into it. All right, so our first pair is GBPUSD. So before I actually start talking about the chart, I want to just emphasize that USD is going to be pretty volatile this week, mainly because the CPI and interest rates are going to start dropping, in my opinion. We have the speech from Powell on Monday, so tomorrow. And, recently with inflation dropping, it's very likely that he's going to be talking about interest rates dropping as well. So we have to be careful. It's going to be very volatile, specifically for USD pairs. So just kind of be on the lookout. If you have any time, try to watch his speech live and see how the market reacts. So anyways, GBPUSD, we can see we have very, very strong bullish market structure. Weekly time frame, I've been talking about this for many, many weeks now. Even many weeks in the past, I was saying we have this shift of structure, turning the weekly bullish, coming back, retesting a strong area of interest, lots of buy opportunities between this area, and now we have this area of interest coming up as well. So we can see that it broke above all these highs, which is great. So now what we want is a retest of market structure, retest of area of interest. We can see the weekly pushed up. Same with the daily, pushing up very, very, very strong. We have our fib sequence laid out from the bottom to the top of the push on the daily time frame. Again, we're just waiting for the retracement. In my opinion, this one might push up even further just because of how strong this last bullish candle closed. It is very likely that it might just continue a little bit before retracing back. So we just have to be a little careful. Our fib sequence might not be perfectly set up just yet, simply because as soon as the market opens, it might jump up to here or instantly crash. We'll have to see. But as of right now, we can see that it's lining up very well, kind of retracing back towards our midpoint area, our area of interest. We have this nice little supply zone, demand zone. I keep on forgetting which one it is. But I just love seeing that when it does potentially retrace back into the last red candlestick, using that as liquidity, grabbing it before going long again. So very, very strong for bullish. We can see our area of interest has lots of using it as resistance. Now we're hoping to use it as support. Next up is AUDUSD. We can see that it is very, very similar. We have a very strong push upwards on the weekly time frame. And now we're just simply waiting for a retest of our area of interest, retest of our market structure here. All right, we're breaking above, we're coming back, we want to retest our market structure. At the same time, retesting our market structure, what does it do? It also retests our area of interest that we have on the daily time frame. We can see it uses as resistance, support, resistance. Now we just want to see it be used as support. This one seems like it's going to take a while, honestly, simply because look how long this push took. This push took like almost 2 weeks to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days for a pretty strong push. So if we do enter a position, we might have to hold this trade maybe for like a week or 3 or 4 days, something like that. So just have to be a little bit more patient with this one. We can see I also have my fib sequence set up on the daily time frame. I'll just redraw it for you guys. You take your fib sequence, you go from the bottom of the push all the way to the top. And we can see that at the 0.618 zone, which is the number that I love. I've talked about it many, many times. It's lining up very well with not only the weekly fib sequence, kind of hitting around this 0.5 of the weekly fib sequence, but also still at the market structure, previous market structure on the daily time frame. And it's very, very close to this demand zone, I believe, or supply zone. So we could see that if we do enter a position, we're likely going to be entering here, maybe somewhere a little lower, wherever the lower time frame shifts once we do retrace back. So it might be around here, and we'll just kind of set our stop loss to cover the 0.618 zone of the weekly push on the fib sequence. Next up is GBPAUD. GBPAUD is looking very clean. We could see that it is in confluence with our GBPUSD. We're both looking for buy positions, and the reason why we're looking for a buy position here is, yes, technically I mean, it's kind of hard to say, right? You know, if you want to count this as the weekly push upwards, then it still maybe hasn't technically broken. It's kind of consolidating in between. So maybe the weekly is bullish, or, you know, if you count this bearish move downwards, then it technically breaks below this. So maybe you see it as bearish. It's kind of like all opinion based. But in my opinion, I still like to see it as bullish. Also, we have a very, very clean double bottom being formed, right, on the weekly time frame, which is beautiful. We can see it really well respected these lows. There's honestly probably another area of interest right here, right? We can see how well it respected that area of interest and used it as support. Now we could see consolidated, shifted structure. We're booming upwards to the upside. Now we're simply just kind of waiting for a retracement back into our area of interest, either at this upper level or maybe even a little lower. I would like to see it come back a little lower because I want to cover like most of this lower market structure and see if we can potentially use it as support as well. That gives me a higher confluence. But we'll have to see, right? This is kind of me. I set up this fib sequence kind of predicting that it is going to push upwards for another day or two before we start retracing downwards. If we can push upwards a little bit more, that'd be great. We could start to see how the area of interest lines up very well with our fib sequence numbers and also our daily EMA. So, you know, as you guys see, like a lot of this revolves around the daily time frame. The daily time frame is probably the most crucial time frame for the strategy that I've been using, and just in confluence with a lot of market structure and fib sequence, like all kind of lines up very well on the daily time frame. So that's why I always look at the daily time frame as like the key time frame to be looking at. So next up we have GBPCAD. This one is very, very similar to the other pairs as well. I'll start on the weekly, I guess. We could see that, you know, very clean market structure being produced here. You know, this is like what we want to see. We see a higher low, higher high, higher low using previous market structure as support, right? Now we're creating a higher high. Now we want to see the same exact thing. We want to see it use previous market structure and this area of interest as support. So this area of interest is not only just this one little tick. We can see if we go back, we can see it's been used as resistance many, many times in the past. So our goal is to really use this as support and continue the upwards trend. And, you know, like I said before, it confluences with our other GBP pairs, GBPUSD, bullish, bullish, and now GBPCAD bullish, right? So we're just continuing this trend. We're trying to look for the trend. We're flowing with the market structure. Yeah, daily time frame is the same thing. I have my fib sequence set up from the bottom to the top of the push, likely predicting that it's going to have another little push at the top or maybe even continue a little bit more. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'll have my alert set up right around here. I could add that right now. And yeah, simply just set and forget once we do get back into this area of interest. Wait for the lower time frame shift of structure. Use fib sequence on the 1 hour 30 minute, looking for an entry position, and then that's when we get in. So that's kind of that for the GBP pairs. And then the USDJPY pair is the last pair I want to talk about. So as I spoke about earlier in this video, I was saying how Powell is speaking, how inflation rates have been dropping, which is great because now it's likely to see that interest rates will drop as well. That's up to the Federal Reserve. That's what Powell is likely going to be talking about during his speech. It's important to understand that this is probably going to be a big fundamental analysis trade opportunity, right? With a little bit more of technical analysis as well. We normally trade technical analysis on the day-to-day basis, week to week. There's not much big news, but when it comes to interest rate decisions, what the Federal Reserve is going to be doing, understanding fundamental analysis is huge as well. So I chose USDJPY specifically because, one, I think it lines up both with technical and fundamental analysis very well. One, we are at a very strong area of interest on the USDJPY on the daily time frame. We can see it used as resistance, and now likely might use it as support. But the big thing is that since the technical analysis is lining up to be bullish, our fundamental analysis is likely to line up bullish as well because of the interest rate decision. So we have to see how market is going to produce the next, following structure for the next day or two. So his speech is tomorrow. So if we do get into a position, we have to still see I would like to still see, you know, the lower time frame shift of structure on the 1 hour, something like that. You know, we had a very strong push downwards, so we're gonna have to see maybe something like this before we even enter, because I want to see a shift of structure on the lower time frame. If it does just kind of stick around here a little bit, you know, it doesn't really do much, and then just decides to just go up, then I'm probably not going to be in the trade. I want to have confluence from my technical analysis as well. But I do think the USDJPY is going to just get a lot stronger, in my opinion, simply because of our interest rate decision. If Powell does speak about it in favor of the US dollar. So yeah, I think I have these two last pairs here. These I'm not really going to talk about that much. This was on my pair last week, but we still have a long way to get down to before our area of interest, and it might not even reach it. So I just kind of have it on the watch out list. Euro USD, I have it here as well, but it looks kind of very choppy, and I wasn't really interested in having too many pairs on my watch list this week. So GBPUSD, AUDUSD, GBPAUD, GBPCAD, and USDJPY all looking for long positions. So that's my analysis for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. And let me pull up this. All right. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a great week. And yeah, have a great day. It's beautiful outside. Have a good one. Peace.